My daughter Mary woke me up early in the morning, saying something about my husband Richard wanting to say goodbye. It was a shock to hear, and when I asked Mary for details, she insisted that Richard was planning to leave. Despite my doubts, Mary's serious gaze convinced me. We quickly packed and left our home. I'm Jennifer Smith, living with Richard and our 5-year-old daughter Mary. I met Richard in college, married him right after graduating, and became a housewife. However, when Richard's job plans fell through, I had to work. After Mary's birth, I quit my job, thinking I could focus on raising her. But things weren't smooth due to Richard's job instability. Richard struggled to find stable employment, and our financial situation became uncertain. Despite holding his current job for 4 years, our stability was questionable. When Richard came home, he handed me the month's living expenses with a smile, but it was always $500, not enough for our growing family's needs. I often wished he could contribute more, but his low monthly pay of $1,500 made it challenging. Despite the financial strain, asking for more seemed harsh, especially when Richard's smiling face made it even harder. After expressing my desire for more money to cover expenses, Richard reacted intensely, questioning if I expected him to give even more. I had tried discussing our growing expenses since our daughter's birth, but Richard's anger flared up. Busy with child rearing, I hadn't considered his feelings. He suggested I find a better-paying job, dismissing my concerns. Richard, usually quiet and gentle to outsiders, played the traditionalist role at home. Any comment he disliked set him off, creating a bit of trauma for me. Now I walk on eggshells when talking to him. During one such moment, Mary, my little angel, comforted me, urging me to work hard. Despite working from home, money was tight, but Mary's support motivated me. One day after finishing work, Richard surprised Mary with a toy she had been wanting. It was the first time he had bought a toy for her, adding a moment of sweetness to our challenging days. When Mary showed the toy from her mom to her dad, his face turned pale. In a fit of anger, he snatched the toy and threw it at her, luckily missing her. Despite our heated exchange, our daughter cried uncontrollably, and my husband, aggravated further, moved towards her. Sensing danger, I shielded her as he raised his arm and swung it down. After this, he silently changed into casual clothes and left the house. I comforted Mary, who trembled in my arms, and later noticed a visible bruise. Although not severe enough for a hospital visit, I couldn't understand why Richard got so angry. Was it about the toy? The distrust lingered, and the fear of a repeat incident haunted me. After 2 hours, Richard returned, avoiding eye contact and heading straight to bed. Despite my apprehension, he fell asleep immediately, offering a brief moment of relief. Choosing to sleep in the living room with Mary, I was abruptly awakened the next morning by a loud noise. Richard had left for work. Memories of yesterday's events rushed through my mind, prompting an involuntary sigh. Beside me, Mary slept peacefully, and I gently stroked her head, hoping for a calm day. 3 months passed since the incident, and life had been smooth. Richard continued working hard, and I managed the house, Mary, and my remote job. Our routine mirrored the days before the upheaval. Got a cake from the popular pastry shop today. Try it, Mom, Richard exclaimed one day. Grateful, Mary thanked him, but he apologized for not getting one for her, promising to do so next time. Since that incident, Richard transformed, becoming more talkative in public, shedding his high and mighty demeanor at home, and treating me and Mary with kindness. Despite the positive changes, one concern lingered: the monthly expenses. Although his salary remained meager, he started giving me his entire paycheck, insisting it was the right thing to do as the breadwinner. I hesitated, saying we didn't need that much, but he argued that it was necessary to avoid embarrassment. Despite the changes, there's an off-putting feeling when people realize he's entirely different. At a moment, I felt indescribable unease. When Mary asked her dad to play, it had been a while. They headed to her room, and as Mary glanced back at me, her eyes seemed to plead for something. An hour later, Mary came to the living room, sharing that her father would be going on a business trip from tomorrow. Surprised I hadn't been informed, a departure from his usual practice. When I asked him about it, he mentioned it was sudden, far, and involved secrets. His inconsistent explanations left me uneasy, but I went to bed that night. The next day, a clattering noise from the living room woke me up. Peeking in, I saw my husband getting ready for a business trip. He was leaving early to start work as soon as he arrived. Being early is good, but it's only 5 o'clock and why so soon? I questioned. His response was, well, I'm just a low-ranking employee. I should be there earlier than others. Saying this, he swiftly left for his business trip. His behavior felt off, and something seemed amiss. Just as I pondered this, our daughter suddenly woke up and declared, "You should divorce Dad now." I unintentionally expressed surprise at her early morning statement. It was unexpected for a young child to wake up and suggest such a thing. Wondering why she said this, I asked for details. Mary explained, "He's planning to say bye-bye to you." Wait, bye-bye, is that true? I found it hard to believe that he would consider such a thing, but Mary's serious eyes stared straight into mine. Her gaze, more earnest than expected from a 5-year-old, made it difficult to dismiss her words. "All right, Mary, let's get ready right now," I said, and we quickly packed and left the house. A few days later, I received a frantic call from him. "Hey, where are you? I came back from my trip, and nobody's home. All your stuff's gone. What's going on? Welcome back. How was your trip? Must have been boring going all alone, huh? What are you talking about? No use playing dumb. I know the business trip was a lie. All your business trips were lies." "That's crazy. Why would I lie about a business trip? If you're so concerned, call the company. They'll set things straight. You'll see if I'm lying or if you're just paranoid." "Oh, really? Should I call them, huh? You think saying that will stop me from actually calling? Is that why you're being so bold? But the thing is, I'm certain you're lying because I already checked with the company. They told me you've taken a 3-day break and asked if I hadn't heard about it." He let out a small gasp on the other end. My husband, who left the house claiming it was for a business trip, had been spending nights in his car, switching locations to avoid being spotted. Surprised, huh? My husband probably didn't think I'd go that far. Sure, the old me would have just believed what he said about his business trips and wouldn't have thought to call his company to verify. But this time, it's different. All thanks to our daughter. Mary told me that your business trips were lies. What? Mary? No way. There's no way Mary would know that. You must have put that idea in her head, didn't you? That's impossible. You know as well as I do that even though Mary's only 5, she's observant. She watches everything closely, including what we're doing and thinking. Despite being just 5, Mary has a mature perspective, probably because of all the TV dramas I watch. She was always fussy as a baby, and I thought she'd grow out of it. But with her, it lasted longer and was worse than I ever imagined. During those times, I'd often watch TV dramas while trying to soothe her. Even now, as she's gotten older, she continues to watch them habitually, from the latest shows to old ones, and even 2-hour mystery dramas. If she can't watch it all, she'll record it to watch later. Her love for dramas surprises me at times. Due to this, her way of thinking and speaking has naturally matured. As the head of the family, she once declared it's your job to protect us, and that you know what's best for the family. I affirmed that I am the head of the household, and know my family better than anyone. "Well then, you must know what I'm going to say next," I challenged. "Of course," he responded confidently. "In that case, I don't hesitate to say I'm going to divorce you." "What?" he exclaimed in strong opposition. "Why? What do you like about me?" "It's not about liking or disliking. I'm divorcing you to protect myself before you erase me." "I don't get what you're saying," he replied, growing silent. "If you don't get it, then let me explain. It all started when Mary told me she wanted us to get divorced. At first, I thought, divorce? Why? But right after that, when Mary said bye-bye, I realized she had picked it up from TV dramas. Mary, who loves any and all TV shows, especially enjoys mystery dramas. In those shows, there are almost always scenes where someone dies. After watching them, Mary must have intuitively felt that causing someone pain and making them stop breathing was a bad thing. Every time one of those scenes played, she would say to me, "Hey Mom, that lady just went bye-bye, and earlier it was a man. Is that guy bad?" "That's right. People who make others go bye-bye like that are bad. In other words, when Mary said bye-bye, she was talking about someone dying. And then she told me, Daddy's trying to make you go bye-bye. If I hadn't been watching those shows with her, I would have never understood her. Had I not spent quality time with Mary, I wouldn't have caught on, and without a doubt, I would have ended up dead at the hands of my husband. You really think I'd do something like that? He retorted. You must have said it because it's the truth, right? Cut the crap. Why the hell would I want to harm my own wife? And you, believing something a 5-year-old says, and then considering divorce, you've got to be kidding me. It seemed like arguing with him was futile at this point. I needed to show him undeniable evidence. If you're so adamant, I'll show you the evidence. Evidence of your attempt to take my life. I hung up the phone and then sent an image to him. Moments later, he called back, sounding surprised. The detailed plan from his phone to end my life was what I sent. Upon his return from the business trip, he planned to take me and Mary on a drive, drug us with a drink containing sleeping pills, leave us in the car, and then pretend to be the one who found us. Shockingly, in the same vein, he intended to harm our daughter as well. A plan so sinister it was hard to believe anyone could conceive it. By the way, I found out about this thanks to Mary. Previously, when Mary played with him, she hurried to me and said, Mom, look at this, handing me his phone. On the screen was the entire plan. He had detailed his grievances against me, expressing wounded pride, because, despite working as an office employee, I working from home earned more. Over time, his wounded pride turned to jealousy, leading him to believe that without me, his pride would remain intact. So he started researching ways to get rid of me online. You went through my phone, he accused. I didn't intend to, not until Mary told me, I defended. Mary knew what was on his phone, dating back a while. Once, she asked him to watch a TV drama, but he wouldn't give up the TV he was watching. He told her to play a game instead and handed her his cell phone. When she unlocked the phone to play, she came across a screen she had never seen before, the meticulous plan he had made to get rid of me. That screen eerily resembled a plot from a TV drama she had watched. That's how Mary realized what he was planning. You had no right to snoop, he argued. How can you even say that? You realize what you were planning, right? I'm just glad I trusted Mary. If not, who knows where she and I would be now. He hung up without another word. Right after that, an email popped up on my cell. It read, Don't think this is over. I've got plans too. 2 hours later, to my shock, my husband showed up at my parents' house. I knew you'd be here. How did you know I was here? He questioned. I always knew you'd run back home. It's pretty obvious, I responded. Behind me, our daughter looked terrified. Go to the back room, I instructed, and she nodded, heading to the back room. I never thought he'd come all the way to my parents, but now that he's here, I have no choice but to face him. So, what brings you here? Surely you're not trying to take us back, are you? That's exactly why I'm here. We're a family after all. We should be together, he insisted. You who's been threatening Mary and me? Give me a break, I retorted. The confrontation continued. Don't worry about what happened before. I've changed. Let's live happily, just the three of us. For you and Mary, it's definitely a lie, I observed, seeing it in his eyes. I've told you before, I'm going to divorce you. I've already consulted a lawyer. A lawyer, huh? Well, they mean nothing if I don't agree. That might be true, but it won't come to that, I said, showing him something. Isn't that the plan I recorded? What's the point in showing me that now? Trying to threaten me with it, he scoffed. Even so, I ain't going to divorce you. I'm not as low as you to threaten you. If I did, people would think I'm just like you. What I did was tell the police everything, along with all the evidence. The cops? Of course, you think I wouldn't do anything when my own husband's trying to kill me, I declared. Hearing about the police enraged him, and he lunged at me. I tried to shut the front door in haste, but he forced it open with his strength. You think this is a joke? He shouted, a completely different person than the mild-mannered husband I knew. In the face of his raging strength, I felt helpless. Mama, I heard Mary's voice from behind. Looking back, I saw her trembling in fear, but still looking at us. She's so scared. It's okay, sweetie. Mama will protect you, I assured her, feeling a newfound strength. Maybe it's the power of a mother trying to protect her child. I tried with all my might to close the door, but his strength was beyond anything I imagined. I just can't anymore, I thought. It was then. What are you doing? At the same time as the voice, my husband was blown back, screaming in horror. Ha! Trying to make sense of what had just happened, I peek outside through a small gap in the front door. Jennifer, are you okay?
Dad, just in the nick of time, my father appeared. Dad, why are you here? I thought you were on a business trip starting today. I forgot something at home, just came back to grab it. I felt a huge relief knowing he was here, even if it was just a coincidence. But what the heck is going on here? Oh, gulping in fear of my father's intense aura, my husband seemed to lose all strength in his legs and just collapse right there on the spot. And it's understandable. My dad stands tall at 6'3" and is built solid. Having practiced judo during his school days, even now, he keeps himself fit by hitting the gym regularly. He doesn't look a day over 60, and with his impressive physique, even the young and reckless would avoid messing with my dad. There's no way my husband could stand a chance against him. So, you're going to tell me why you're here and what you were planning to do to my daughter and granddaughter. Unable to bear the tension any longer, my husband tried to leave, tears streaming down his face. But in the next moment, several men grabbed him. Don't move. What the? Let go. Get off me. Struggling, my husband was subdued by several police officers and was taken away right then and there. That was close. By the way, what brought Richard here? My father inquired. He probably came to say one last extreme goodbye, I answered. Later, my husband, who was arrested, was sentenced to 10 years in prison for attempting to harm me and my daughter. During that time, my parents, my daughter, and I moved far away just to be on the safe side. I left all matters related to our divorce, child support, and property settlement to my lawyer, ensuring I didn't have to see my husband. Half a year later, I heard from my lawyer that my ex-husband was serving his sentence as a model inmate. However, after finishing his sentence, he's going to work offshore, which means he won't be leading a decent life for quite some time. On the other hand, I've been living happily in our new home with my daughter and parents. Mary, could you take this over to Grandpa and Grandma? Yeah, just be careful not to drop it. I'll be fine. These days, unlike before, our days are filled with laughter, free from stress. I sincerely hope these days last forever.